Tony Livesey
on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Now, there are reports that Spurs have entered advanced talks with Roberto De Zerbi, and the former Brighton manager is going to get paid big bucks to take charge immediately. It had been thought he was open to the head coach role, but his preference had been to wait until the end of the season. Chris Cowlin is host of Spurs Chat Podcast and has joined us on various occasions to share his depression with us. Let's see how he's feeling tonight. Chris, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Tony.
Well, Igor Tudor's gone. No one wants to see anyone gone, but he wasn't doing the business. What about Roberto De Zerbi?
Yeah, Igor Tudor had to go, in my opinion. That simply wasn't good enough, and he wasn't the impact that they thought he would be. But yeah, we're about to move on to our third manager of the season, fourth manager in 10 months, and this is where we're at the moment. But Roberto De Zerbi, I think he's a very capable manager. Of course, he's got Premier League experience, did a really good job at Brighton, did a good job at Marseille, but of course he's had falling outs at both of these clubs as well. So he's a hot-headed Italian, very passionate, and we've had this type of character at Tottenham before, but I'm just hoping and praying now that these remaining 7 games, if he does come in for these remaining 7 games, that he can turn our fortune around, because performances, results, etc. have been extremely poor all season under Tudor and Thomas Frank, and we're sitting 1 point above the relegation zone, so he needs to turn things around and quick, but we need unity, togetherness, calmness and stability at the moment, and he needs to be bringing the skills of man management and getting the very best out of these players.
Yeah. I was hearing today that he's going to be one of the best paid managers in the Premier League. He's on a massive bonus to keep you up, but he'll get a huge chopping salary if he goes down. What do you think's persuaded him to come in early then, rather than wait to see what happens at the end of the season?
Well, it's got to be money, hasn't it? Money talks at the end of the day, but we need a top manager to come in. We need someone to galvanise this squad, because like we've spoke, recently, Tony, I think that it's fair to say that a lot of these players are underperforming. There are issues, at the club throughout, board level, owners not doing enough in the dugout, on the pitch. The fans have been very disappointed all season, given our league position and given the fact that we were told at the start of the season that we wanted to fight on all fronts, because Ange Postecoglou got the sack because we wanted to be fighting on all fronts, and finishing 17th last year wasn't good enough. But of course, ultimately, it is about money. And ultimately, if he wants to come in now and have those clauses written into the contract, whether he can carry on as Spurs manager if we are down in the Championship or not. But when they're talking about a 5-year contract, you hope that there is a real plan in place, and you would hope that there are plans to really back the manager, because let's face it, since we moved in that stadium in 2019, we've been through so many different managers, 6 permanent managers, 4 interim stroke caretaker managers. So this is not a new thing for us Spurs fans to be talking about new managers to be coming in. But we need some stability at the football club, and you need a real plan. And that is a real problem at the moment. There are lack of plans, poor decisions have been made in recent seasons, particularly this season. In my opinion, Thomas Frank should have gone a lot sooner. So, things need to turn around at the football club from the very, very top, and give a manager a real chance by them giving Roberto De Zerbi a 5-year deal. I think that says that they are planning for the long term. But of course, transfer windows need to be so much better than they have been under multiple different managers.
And the dream of Pochettino returning is gone then for the foreseeable?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think that the owners and the board want their own people in, and they're probably going down the route of someone that they want to choose rather than someone that we've had in before and has worked with Daniel Levy, etc. But the fan base sing his name, all the time. And, that gathering before the Nottingham Forest game, when we lost 3-0 recently, the fans were still singing his name. He's a character that is much loved by the fan base. And I think that most Spurs fans, if not all Spurs fans, want to see him back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium one day.
I'm just looking at your final 7 fixtures then. So you've got Sunderland away, Brighton at home, Wolves away, Villa away, Leeds at home, Chelsea away, Everton at home. What are your thoughts?
If you'd have asked me this a couple of days ago, I was quite depressed about it actually, and I'm thinking, well, where is our next points coming from? But if Roberto De Zerbi now comes in, it is about really getting the best out of these players. I'm sitting here now thinking it's 50-50. It could go down to the final day of the season, because I say that, and I'm not being dramatic here. When you look at how many points Spurs have picked up in the calendar year of 2026 and the amount of defeats that we've had, and when you look at the likes of Leeds, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, even Burnley and Wolves, they're showing so much more fight, grit, determination and passion than this Tottenham Hotspur squad at the moment. So, it's the right timing. This international break, 7 games to go, it does give us a chance now. And this really is the last throw of the dice.
Yeah, well, look, it's interesting, Chris. Let's see how it pans out. I mean, notably, you've no 6-pointers in there. You're not playing Forest or West Ham, are you? So you've got to do it all under your own steam.
They've beat us already. We do have to play Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds. Do you think they're still in the mix, Leeds? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But as I say, they've got to give. The players have to give more. The manager has to come in, make us more difficult to beat than what we have done in the last few weeks or even months.
Wow.
And the players need to give everything.
Mind you, he's got to sign on yet, hasn't he? He's not officially confirmed yet, is he, De Zerbi?
No, he hasn't.
He might be at home watching the Great British Bake Off. He might not. He might have decided not to bother, Chris.
You keep telling me we're staying up. Do you think we're still staying up?
I think you'll stay up. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But equally, and I tell this to my Everton supporting mates as well, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if you went down, because you would. You all right? The Arsenal fans would have a laugh, but. Famously in the 70s, it rebirthed Manchester United, Chris. They reset themselves and came back a real force. And I think that's what it can do. You'd come back straight away. You'd come back straight away.
No, the only thing I'd say to that, if you look at the Championship table, look how many former Premier League teams are in there. There is no guarantees of coming back, particularly given poor decision-making at board level.
Yeah. I know when you say that, I was going to say none of your calibre, but then Leicester won it and look where they are now, so I suppose you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, look, Chris, we'll speak again before the end of the season, because I'm quite enjoying sharing your stress, because I've none, because we went ages ago. So it's quite good living it through you. We'll speak anon.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Chris Cowlin there from the Spurs Chat Podcast. Tony Livesey with you here on 5 Live. Just some developing news.